What is up, Coach Emma here, and welcome back to the Fit Habit Life podcast, where we cut through the noise, talk real health and fitness, sustainable fat loss, and habits that actually work. And on today's episode, I'm going to get probably a little heated, a little passionate. It's the new year, and marketing ads for supplements, extreme protocols have been rampant. And they prey on people's insecurities. So I'm going to talk about that for the most part. What to be aware of when trying to decipher if something actually works. How to be more, deliberate with, or not more deliberate, but more educated on some of these supplements or protocols that are promoted by famous doctors online, influencers, targeted Facebook ads, because I keep seeing them a lot. Clients will send me supplements, or I've even been chatting with some of my coaching friends. Their clients are getting pushed weird protocols by like famous influencers online to improve osteoporosis, bone mineral density, body fat percentage, whatever. And I'm going to debunk those so that you can actually figure out what actually works. Is this going to be applicable to me? And how to decipher if they're just trying to sell you crap. So yeah, but before I dig in, I just want to thank you for listening. If you've been enjoying the show, if you could rate the show, share the show, subscribe, it just helps me help more people debunk the crap that's out there, because there's a lot of it. There really is a lot of it. So anyway, but I also want to talk about personal experience that happened this week because it's very relevant before I jump into the supplement rant, so to speak. I'm type A. I've talked about this a lot. I don't take a lot of breaks, vacations. I tend to, in my analogy of stress, my cup is always overflowing. And ways to empty your cup so you can handle more stress, if the water's the stress, is to relax, unwind, take a break, take a vacation. And that's what I did this past weekend, and I feel awesome. I talked with my husband, we're going to try to implement at least every couple months, even if it's just a one-night getaway, just something to get outside the norm, give me a break. I'm going to leave my work at home. So I'm excited to start doing that more frequently because I feel really rejuvenated. I'm showing up better at work. I have more energy. I'm feeling less burnt out. I'm showing up better for my clients. So yeah, that's going to be a more regular thing. So if you're feeling burnt out, take a break. And it doesn't have to be a vacation. We drove down to southern Utah to hike, sit in some hot springs, eat food. I overindulged. It was awesome. But it could be literally, maybe you got kiddos. Maybe you get a babysitter for a night or a day, or you drop your kids off at a friend's house, just so you and your significant other can have some time away to relax and enjoy each other's company without kiddos going around. You could literally be going on a hike. With the weather, hasn't been super permitting because it's been pretty cold and icy, but not snowy. So I was glad I was able to do that. So anyway, just wanted to say, if you're feeling burnout, take a break, take a day off work, go do something that fills your cup, or I guess empties your stress cup, fills your wellness cup, just because we need it. As people, we need that. We need rest. We cannot be 110% all the time. So anyway, back to my supplement quick fix rant. Marketing people are super smart. Marketing people prey on people's insecurities. People want to lose body fat. They want to build muscle. They want to lean out. They want to reduce pain. So they market their supplements or protocols in a way to make you think that. I see so many people doing detoxes. You don't need to do a detox. Most people's diets are not optimal. Most people aren't sleeping enough. Most people aren't managing their stress super well. Most people aren't strength training 2 to 4 times a week. Most people aren't moving enough throughout the day. Most people aren't drinking enough water. Most people aren't eating enough protein or fiber or eating primarily whole foods. So, you don't need a detox. Most people don't need a detox. Most people just need to do more of those things. Most people just need to get more movement throughout the day. More people need to focus on building strength and muscle. More people need to focus on eating more protein and fruits and vegetables. More people need to focus on sleep and managing stress. A lot of my clients just sign up for too many things. I do this. This is me. I sign up, I put too many things on my plate, and I get overwhelmed, overstressed, overburdened. So you know what I'm focusing on this year? I'm trying to reduce the amount of things I have to do on my plate. My plate is a metaphor for my life. Reduce responsibilities, reduce other things. And so far, so good. I've been reducing responsibilities. I went on a vacation and I'm feeling pretty awesome. So, anyway, that's my biggest struggle, right? But you know what else? I got my menstrual cycle back. I don't know if I've talked about it a lot, but I've struggled with my menstrual cycle quite a bit. I get overstressed. My body's standard, or I guess defense mechanism, is to hey, we don't have enough energy to have a menstrual cycle, so we're gonna not have one right now. So, and it's because of stress. It's not because I need supplements. It's not because I need a detox protocol. It's because I'm overly stressed. I got too much on my plate. I'm eating plenty. I talked about this last episode. I eat plenty of food, training once a day, 6 days a week. 2 are like low intensity cardio sessions. It's not anything crazy. The amount of calories I'm consuming, it's totally manageable. So that was my biggest hurdle. And I struggle with it. I have a coach for this reason. And fixing that fixed my problem. But anyway, stress management. Most people aren't doing it well. Most people are putting too much on their plate. Most people are not strength training 2 to 4 times a week. Most people not eating primarily whole foods or cooking their meals at home. So my point being is, instead of spending money on these specific supplement protocols or detoxes or cleanses, focus on the basics. The basics are going to move the needle. The basics are going to get you to where you want to go. They're going to allow your body to function as it should. Back to my menstrual cycle example. My body can't function optimally if I'm overburdened, overstressed, right? It's going to reduce the amount of things it has to do. So oftentimes people aren't detoxing things super well because their body's overburdened. Overburdened with, I don't know, other things. Like if you're eating a pretty processed food diet, the food you're eating is requiring a lot of energy for your body to break down. So you're constantly inundating your body with more crap that it has to sift through, quote unquote. So instead of trying to force your liver to detox better, which those supplements don't even really do, just reduce some of the crap that's making your liver overburdened so it can, quote unquote, cleanse the other stuff. I'm talking in like assuming that, anyway, point being is if you're doing the basics, your body should be functioning super well to where it doesn't need the help of a little tiny supplement cleanse to cleanse. Your body knows how to detox. Your body knows how to digest food. You just have to take care of it the right way so that it can do what it's supposed to do. Our bodies were made to do these things. We're just not supporting our bodies in a way to where they can do them properly. Like fat loss. We're not supposed to be overweight. We're not. Our bodies are meant to move. Our bodies have mechanisms in place to signal, hunger and fullness. But the problem is we've, hijacked those mechanisms because of the really, really tasty, indulgent foods that have been literally engineered to hijack that process in the brain. They're called food scientists. Their job is to hijack you. So if you're eating a primarily processed food diet, yeah, you're probably going to be overweight because the natural mechanisms that your body has to tell you that it's full or that it's still hungry or whatever, they're not going to work properly because these foods hijack that. Right? So if you think of things in that way, like what is natural? What are we meant to do? We're meant to move. We're meant to eat food from nature. And I'm not saying I never eat processed food. As I said, I overindulged this weekend. I had pizza, I had a burger, I had fries, I had a burrito. I was hiking quite a bit, and I was prioritizing protein and fiber, but I did kind of eat like an asshole. But because my normal day-to-day is eating home-cooked meals that I make myself, consisting of fruits, vegetables, rice, potatoes, meat, my body's like, ew, stop feeding me this. Let's go back to the regular routine. Because my body is functioning as it should. My gut health is intact. I was doing the basics before my gut health. I was probably overtraining a little bit, but that wasn't the gut health problem. I still had issues that were created because of my prior history of not doing the things. So that can happen. Maybe you are doing the basics and you're like, things still aren't working well. That's when you should get a full functional lab panel drawn by a functional practitioner or somebody like myself who can read and interpret that properly to make sure that maybe there are micronutrient deficiencies or maybe there's a gut health problem that needs to be addressed. Point being, if you're not doing the basics, do the basics. If you're doing the basics and the thing's still not moving the needle, you don't need a detox cleanse from a supplement that was advertised to you on Facebook. You need to meet with a practitioner that can help get to the root of what your problem is and resolve it. To help support your body in the natural processes that it already does. So anyway, don't fall for those. And the way you can figure out if it's a fad or some just dumb thing that a company is trying to sell you on to make money off of your insecurities is try to read the ad to yourself out loud and imagine a coach reading it to you. Because if you imagine a person trying to sell you workouts or nutrition changes, dietary changes, or whatever, who is reading the things in that way, you'd be like, this is ridiculous. Because it is ridiculous. The other way, you can automatically write it off, I'd say, is if it's a Facebook ad. If it's a Facebook ad, probably write it off. Honestly, a lot of podcasts, they support random crap. So probably would be a little bit cautious if you heard of it from a podcast. Supplements like multivitamins, omega-3s, protein powder, probiotics. I'd be cautious of taking probiotics if you don't actually know what's going on digestively, because they can aggravate symptoms if you're not aware. Anyway, point being, those are rooted in studies and science, like creatine. Creatine has thousands of studies. Creatine works. Creatine is effective. Multivitamins, thousands of studies. Maybe not thousands. I'm not sure. I'm not a big study reader. But there's a lot of studies on multivitamins, and they help you cover the bases. I recommend most of my clients take multivitamins. Vitamin D. Most people are deficient in vitamin D. If you're hearing an ad for vitamin D supplementation, that's probably viable. Omega-3s. Most of our diet consists of omega-6s, and having too much omega-6 versus omega-3s, that can cause systemic inflammation. So, omega-3s, really viable supplement that can help inflammation. Probiotics, depending on what's going on digestively, can help. Probiotics are great. Protein powder, great. Most people don't get enough protein in their diet, and supplementing with it, super beneficial. Off the top of my head, magnesium. That's the other one. Most of us are magnesium deficient, and that lack of magnesium can result in worse sleep quality and a bunch of other things I can't think of right now. Magnesium's a super important electrolyte. So, anyway, and if you're eating primarily whole foods, then supplementing with an electrolyte powder can be beneficial too. But other than those, unless you had lab work done and your doctor or functional doctor or health coach recommends specific supplements based on you, probably don't need to take them. But I'd say the basic 4 I recommend for most people: omega-3s, multivitamin, vitamin D3, K2, and magnesium. And creatine. And protein powder. Those are like kind of bonuses, but like cover the bases on nutrition, micronutrient intake. Those 4 are going to do it. The creatine's going to help you get better gains in the gym, have better cognitive function. Protein powder is also going to help with the gains. And just make sure you're maintaining muscle mass if you're in a cut or trying to build muscle. Anyway. Other than those supplements, most things kind of scammy. So be aware. And again, if you hear ads, Facebook, on a podcast, a lot of podcasts are paid money to advertise things, especially popular podcasts. They have a large reach. And if you listen to somebody's podcast, like you listen to mine, you trust me. Probably, because you're still listening. So you probably trust them. Right? So if they recommend something, you're more likely to try it because you've built that trust with them. So just be cautious, be wary, do a little bit of research, make sure that whatever supplement you are looking into, it's third-party tested, it's GMP certified, and it has data backing it. But besides that, that's kind of the gist. Be wary of supplements, supplement protocols, ads for supplement protocols, and yeah, because it bothers me. Like supplements, even if you are taking these like the big 4 that I listed, or creatine or protein powder, that's not going to move the needle as much as getting good sleep, 7 to 9 hours a night, getting 8 to 10,000 steps a day, strength training 2 to 4 times a week, drinking half your body weight in ounces daily of water, managing your stress, and what's the other one I'm missing? What is the other one that I talk about all the time? I got sleep, stress, movement, strength training, protein and fiber. Hello, diet. Okay, and protein and fiber, if you're eating about 0.7 to 1 gram per pound of ideal body weight of protein, you're eating 25 or more grams of fiber a day, cooking most of your meals at home, those are going to move the needle the most. So do those first. If you're doing those and you're noticing changes, that's awesome. Then add those big 4, I guess 6 if you want to count protein and creatine, add those in. See how those make you feel. See if those help. And then if you're still stuck, that's when getting extra testing done will help. Don't fall for those supplement protocols. Please save your money. Invest in a good coach or gym equipment to work out at home, maybe a walking pad. If you work from home, you struggle to get your steps in. Invest in things like that because those are actually going to move the needle more than buying another supplement stack. So anyway, hopefully today's episode was helpful. It's something I'm very passionate about. Supplements can be very beneficial, but I feel like oftentimes people think they're like some magic fix, some quick fix to get them to where they want to be, but really they don't do that much in the grand scheme of things. They're not the biggest rock. So anyway, hopefully this was helpful. If it was, if you could share the episode, rate the show, and subscribe. That just helps me help more people debunk the crap that's out there. So anyway, thank you for listening, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.